我都大概3点半起床，来到这里都大概4点出了。所以我们都会分工合作，每个人都有每个人的 role。Thank you。我相信我妈妈是第一位把客家食物带进 Hawker Center。我妈妈传承的这个食物，这些味道，我每次吃到也是想念她啦。如果我们这些老一辈的 Hawker 他们没有人可以传下去，我觉得这个菜肴当然是会不见啦。Today is my mother's 100th day prayers. Although my mother has already passed away, but she made sure that we 3 sisters can be united together. To me, her love and memories are always in our heart forever. Agnes， 我在这行已经有20年了，我是美珍客家美食的第2代。我这里是卖了我们客家的蒜盘子、芋头粥，还有糯米饭。大补客是会专注在我们的蒜盘子，这个是很好的芋头来的，像我们的过年过节祭祖，它就是吃了我们会年年有的蒜，会生活会一天比一天好。我们的笋板。它的皮，它是用芋头要拿去蒸，蒸好了之后要拿去压碎，然后用粉拿去搓成一粒一粒，用那个瓶子来揉了之后才包那个料，拿去蒸。所以不是很简单的食物啦，没有人会很想做这么多工的食物来卖，很 time consuming 的。
So hawker centers and hawkers themselves both serve different functions as custodians of heritage food. Hawkers themselves are the practitioners, so they are the ones that are making this very traditional, often very labor-intensive food. And it is through them that this heritage food gets sort of passed down and gets reproduced and is still sold in different places today. Hawker centers help to sort of facilitate the practitioners in sort of reproducing this food at an affordable price.
当我在这个小贩中心的时候，我每次都会看到人家来到我的档口，就看着很像那个 food museum， 他们讲，哎，这个就是蒜盘子，这个就是蒜盘子，因为很多年轻人也不知道，他们会觉得这个菜肴很怪，没有吃过，因为有点软软，然后又chewy，又有点咸，这个味道。如果要找接班人，对他们来说这份工很难做，因为你要有 skill， 不是说1个月、2个月，而且你要知道怎么做，所以很难维持下去。
So in the hawker business, succession usually works through the family. The hawkers will sort of pass it on to one of their children or one of their immediate family members. Now it's getting a little bit more difficult because I think many of the younger generation don't want to work as a hawker because it is laborious, it is tiring. They have to work almost 6-7 days a week. And many times the hawkers themselves don't want their children to go into the hawking business.
我给我自己应该多一个10年吧。我希望有人会来收购我的档口啦，还有我的 recipe。如果没有人来买，也没有人接手，那就休息了咯。我也希望这个历史也不会在我这一代结束了。所以你们要珍惜我咯，珍惜我的档口了，要快点来吃了 ，before 它消失了。
Everything looks good. Everything here looks quite fresh. I'm here to buy aromatics to make my rempah. I come here once every week on a weekend. It may be cheaper to buy from a wholesale supplier, but the quality isn't guaranteed, so the yield will be lower. So it's better to come down and choose the best ingredients yourself. Total how much? 16.50, yeah. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. I'm making rempah for my curries. I usually do it on the weekend to last the following week. So rempah is a blend of aromatics and spices. It's a paste, could be dry, could be wet as well. Depending on the quantity, it can take from 2.5 hours to up to about 4 or even slightly more. It's very time consuming. You have to get all the ingredients ready, peel them, cut them down to size, measure them out, then you can start blending. So it takes a lot of time to do it. I'm Justin. I'm 49 years old. I'm currently a hawker at Amoy Street Food Centre selling Eurasian or Kristang Kari Debal. I'm picking off any remnants of feathers from the chicken skin. Once the water is up to temperature, I will blanch the pork to remove the brine, remove some of the salt. Kari Debal is a dish that was created in the early 1500s when Portuguese sailors arrived in the Straits of Malacca. They intermarried with the local population, and that gave rise to this unique Kristang culture and cuisine. Kari Debal is a dish that they used to preserve meat when they were on maritime voyages. And Kari Debal was one of the ways in which they used to keep the meat good for longer.
One of those dishes like Kari Debal is disappearing. I mean, when I first found out about devil's curry, when I started writing, I never tried it before. I thought it must be super spicy, super hot or something like that. You know, it's like really like the Tasmanian devil. You know, you eat it, you're gonna explode. But it turned out that it's called devil's curry because over time, Debal became devil because devil is easier to remember. But Debal is the Kristang term that says leftover. So it's actually made out of all the leftover meats from a Christmas dinner.
My uncle learned how to cook from my grandma. My grandmother was a very good cook. I learned how to cook Kari Debal from my uncle. I try to cook as close as possible to how my grandma used to. It's a bit hard. Every individual cook will impart their own touch to any dish. But I try my best to stay true to what I remember as the original recipe. The one thing maybe that I tweaked is to probably reduce the amount of vinegar used because I want a more balanced flavor profile so that more people can accept the dish. My Kari Debal as a set meal with rice and everything goes for $9. I think it's definitely worth the price because of the quality and the quantity of ingredients I use and the amount of labor and effort put in. So other than the fresh aromatics used for the rempah, the meats are imported. I have two sources. One is from Denmark, Danish pork, smoked in Denmark. The other one is Dutch pork, smoked locally. And it does cost quite a bit more than normal pork. And in fact, there are customers who tell me that I'm underpricing. No other meat will do, in my opinion. I'm trying to sell the product that I believe in, that I know is true to the form of authentic Kari Debal as my grandmother cooked it. I don't believe I should get cheaper alternatives because it will just change the nature of the dish. I currently am barely breaking even. The hope of success keeps me going. I have a vision to make Kristang cuisine available, accessible to Singaporeans.
The food culture is slowly disappearing. So a few people are holding the fort, trying to keep the tradition alive, and they'll put it in a hawker center because you allow the public to actually try the food. Whether or not it's going to last, it will only withstand the test of time if people are willing to pay for it. You can't just exist on nostalgia. It's got to win over a whole new generation of people who actually want to eat the dish if it's going to survive the next generation.
Tak ini tak balance lah bang. Ni, agaknya waktu abang masukkan tu masih panas.
Memang masih panas lah. Diorang tu terletak. Kan tak biasa kan kalau hijau masih panas. Kalau letak putih terus nanti dia putih tenggelam.
Bilang lah bang dengan dia orang. Tak sama tau.
I'm Adnin. I'm 27 this year and I am the operations manager of Lemak. We are now at our central kitchen. So right now we are doing the kueh Jongkong here lah. Right now I'm putting the gula melaka in the cup after cutting it into small pieces. It's tedious. So the cutting of the sugar takes time and also the cutting of the pandan leaf, the cooking, the boiling of the ingredients lah. It takes time lah.
2550.
Maaf,
Oh, abang.
4 adunan, 2040.
Oh, ya. Sorry.
When I first started learning how to make kueh Jongkong, right? When I learned from my mom, she used a lot of agar-ration. So I had to measure individually how many grams. So from that, I just need to follow the recipe only lah.
Masuk mana?
Masuk ke arah
Masuk mana?
I think the family-run businesses that have been most successful at passing on the trade are the ones that have taken the time to sit and study how they do the things they do, write it down into SOPs, because there was the intention to pass it down to the next generation.
I messed up before. For example, instead of salt, I accidentally used Ajinomoto. That's why some of my things I label it lah. Easier reference. So traditionally, the kueh Jongkong is wrapped in banana leaf. It's actually named like an ingot because it's shaped just like an ingot. And it only lasts for 1 day, so you have to eat it on that day itself. So for hours, if you can't finish it now, you can just keep it for later or the next day. So you have to strike a balance between having it tasting the same as it was traditionally and maybe look more visually appealing for the modern day crowds. When we first started this stall, we can't sustain the business with just only one product, which is the kueh Jongkong. So we started simple, like lontong, mi goreng, mi siam, light dishes. And eventually, we started expanding the menu to nasi padang, which is various dishes and rice. And also, our laksa was introduced. Laksa chap, laksa siglap was introduced.
Sekarang Cik tengah siapkan barang-barang untuk bahan-bahan untuk buat laksa. Sekarang tengah pisahkan daging ikan ni dengan tulangnya. Kita nak kena hati-hati, takut termasuk tulangnya. Ini perlu masa lah. Daging ikan ni salah satu bahan utama untuk membuat kuah laksa cap lah. Orang namakan, orang panggil juga dengan laksa siglap lah. Makcik inilah yang ajarkan saya. Selalunya yang kita selalu makan kat luar, laksa yang biasa kita jumpa, bahan utamanya udang. Tapi kalau laksa siglap, bahan utamanya ikan. Sebenarnya dia menggunakan ikan parang lah. Tapi Cik menggunakan ikan tenggiri. Kita jualan di hawker center ni, jual dengan harga yang termampu dengan masyarakat lah.
Laksa siglap now is rare to find. Maybe because it's tedious, just like Jongkong. It comes out during Hari Raya, not during like the off season. So it's kind of rare to see it in normal days. So we continue making our kueh Jongkong and laksa chap. It's not only because of the profit, it's also because it's one of our Singapore's heritage food and we do not want it to be lost forever. If it's not us, who else will preserve our heritage food like our kueh Jongkong or laksa? It is something to think about lah.
My name is Cornelius Tan. I'm 39 this year. I'm proud to say that I'm a Hakka. I sell cuttlefish and ear biscuits. So I've been doing this since 2014, 2015 to continue my family's business legacy. So right now, I'm pressing the dough for the ear biscuits. So this is the first process to making the ear biscuits. To me, it is an art. So even until today, I'm learning and I'm feeling the flour and I'm calibrating with it as I make. This is a negative example. Daddy 破了，你帮我一下，我把它剪掉。So what we'll do now is damage recovery. So every day doing this is like a dance between me and my dad. We see where are the gaps and we fill in. Sometimes we don't even talk, we don't even communicate. It's just heart to heart. And I treasure this part because before this, I was never so close to my dad. He was always busy at work. So now I'm busy with him at work. So this is a very meticulous process, which I took years to master it. It is a bodily movement. If it is not done properly, the knuckles will actually get injured, the shoulders as well. My grandparents started this in the 1960s. At that time, they were doing a variety of snacks. So eventually, it streamed down to our specialty, which is the crispy cuttlefish and our ear biscuits, and also known as the butterfly biscuits. The flavors brings back very fond memories I have with my grandparents. I graduated from university. After that, I found myself in M1 telecommunication company. I was their radio planning engineer for about 3 years. I made the decision to leave my job as an engineer to help my parents at the hawker center. They disapproved. So every time they said, you know, after many years of education, and I finally made it through university, to them it's like, I hope that my son will climb the corporate ladder and one day make it big. But when he joins me in a hawker center, he will have to go through all the hardship with me. And it wasn't easy. It was a tough beginning. And till today, I'm very grateful for my growth. Now this is the marinating process. So what I'm doing is to prepare the cuttlefish to be marinated by spreading them loosely. The cuttlefish is very thin, so delicate fingers is one of the key criteria to protecting the cuttlefish. So next we will dip into the marinade, and then we will make sure that every piece of cuttlefish is evenly marinated. So when I was young, this is also known as playing with water. After the marinating process, the cuttlefish will be left to drip dry for a while. And then it will be buffered to go into the next process, which is to enter the semi-automatic oven. And then eventually, it will come out as cooked crispy cuttlefish. At the end, ready for packaging into small bags. Hawker trade is not just business. There's a lot in this hawker trade that is the very heartwarming part, which we cannot find in shopping centers or in any part of Singapore. It is just living their dreams of the love of cooking for their customers to feed the community, and everybody will be able to afford a bowl of rice or a bowl of noodles or even a slice of bread. And I feel that this is very important. So you just pick up and put into the bag, like how you usually do. To continue the family legacy also means that after me, somebody must take over. And if my daughter, she's passionate about the trade, she's always welcome to continue the family business legacy. However, I leave all doors and options open to her. Okay, I'll take yours. Okay, Doctor. Sincerely, I hope that the hawker trade will still stay. It will evolve, but regardless of all expansion possibilities and plans, I will never let go of my hawker trade. I'll still be a hawker. As long as I can, I'll be a hawker. And this is the pride that I take.
Hi, chú.
哎，包好了咯。
啊，感谢感谢。
我的档口是卖菜饭，这样做到现在有20年了。
收啊！啊，这收可以啊。
我这边是老人区，我就卖这个价钱，因为你卖便宜会比较多人，薄利多销嘛。你起太贵也是没有这样多人嘛。有人叫我起价，说现在东西很贵，但是我不大要起价了，可以维持就维持下去了。
你今日包什么？
包蘑龟，
不过是有
龟吧，龟卵。
你今日龟吧吼，能讲淡薄定啊？
较定啊。
啊，你在老人吼无去吼。
这2个啦，还是钱就定啦。
OK。
啊，免得澳很多年都是跟我订，买给老人吃的。
把你的饭真好食。感谢。Thank you 啊。
哦。
I've been volunteering in Toa Payoh East for more than 40 years, and I distribute food every Sunday with some of the volunteers. We have been getting food from Lai Heng. The food is very economical. Your lunch. Hey, Mr. Tan Lei Hong, how many?
Hi.
Yeah. 好。你知我是几点吼？我咱两个说的吼 ，OK。
顾客全部都买得很熟了，每个对我很好的，每次来都有讲话一下子了，讲了他们就回了。有一段时期那时候卖了没有什么赚钱了，好像卖了的钱还东西都还了，都刚刚好没有钱。我儿子跟我买那个批发的货，这样我还可以这样继续下去了。
问你一下啊，今天这个肉来货的时候你确好了，全部都 OK 了？
有这个 OK 了。
这
个不懂够不够啊？看一下。
他一路来他都坚持要卖便宜啦，所以你问我为什么我要继续走这条路，是因为这个整个巴沙的人都 recognize 他 as 这个卖便宜的菜贩的小贩，所以我觉得就是很深刻进入人家的脑里面，他就是卖便宜的。
About 80% of our population today go to hawker centers for a meal at least one time a week. Hawker centers still continue to be what we call community dining rooms. And essentially, we still want to be able to provide affordable food options to our people. And what does affordable mean? It is providing value for money meals that most people can still afford on whatever they are earning. And we want to ensure there are spaces from people from all walks of life, different backgrounds that can still partake in the same types of food in an environment where we can then enjoy our food together.
Cepat lah.
未啦，可能差不多2点外才食。
哦。
伊到了伊会火无火去。
是不是也不会？
你都无看伊头一个就无火了。
那时候我当完兵过后，我就问他最近店的做的怎么样，他讲说人是有，排队是有，但都不怎么赚钱。后来我就拿他的单来看，我就慢慢看原来他在 supplier 这边，因为他就是老一辈的人，他们不怎么会去看价钱、看 costing 这些，然后我就跟他讲说，不然我帮你找一些比较便宜的货啦，要不然你这样做下去是迟早要关了，因为你都不赚钱嘛。 supplier 那边的帮助是很重要的。说 supplier 是我的朋友，因为他知道我们要卖便宜给这里的人吃，所以如果我们拿正常货的价钱的话，我们是不能卖这个价钱的。所以我有去跟他谈啦，然后他也是说 OK 啦，就是说为社会做一点小贡献这样哦。然后我们就谈了过后，他就给我一个比较优惠的价钱。
来你们，来出走。还有，我今年75岁，我现在这样做啊，是想改天给我儿子接手。我也是每次交代他，你照我的价钱卖，你不可以乱起价，因为我喜欢卖便宜，他会听我的话。
Today I'm preparing for a party package. So nearby we have a church, then they order for 35 packs, like an event. Basically, these are all off-menu kind of items, so they won't get it when they come here and order at the store. So it's like special. My name is Darren. Me and my wife, we run Butternut. It's like a Western fusion hawker store in Taman Jurong Food Centre. We've been doing it since 2017. I think it's about 8 years plus already.
Oh, sorry. Cover for free. Then you help me wrap 2 layers, okay?
Previously, I was 5 years events, 5 years in finance. It's the kind of challenge. If I can market and sell people's product well, why not do my own one? Then my wife and I decided to come into F&B because we initially wanted to open our own cafe. But then we realized cafe costs quite high. So we wanted to test, see whether our food is acceptable. I live here all my life. Used to be very traditional hawker food.
Taman Jurong Food Centre was one of the first hawker centres to be built in Singapore in the 1970s. It was then known as Jongkong Food Centre. And back then, and even today, it caters a lot to the workers in the industrial areas nearby. But then today, they're also building new BTOs in the neighbourhood. So you're seeing an influx of young families with school-going children. So hawkers there really have an interesting diner pool to reckon with, from workers who might be price sensitive because it's their everyday meal, to aging residents, and then the younger families who are maybe seeking something more innovative and fun. And I think hawkers there have to diversify their offerings to cater to this wide audience.
We are the first one selling pizza in this hawker. It was already a challenge. I wanted to excite the neighborhood in a sense, because if not, if I want to eat a nice thin crust pizza, I have to go to town, to city area. So I was thinking, how nice if a neighborhood can have a fusion with the store. I was confident because I know that there was BTO coming up. So I felt that, okay, new blocks, younger generation moving in. So I say, I will try. So the store we got is at the back alley, and it must be halal certified. So I got it about 700 plus total that time. But over the years, they would increase to market rate. So now ours is about 1,500, 1,600.
Most of the hawker centre stalls are on an open tender, and based on the highest bid, the stall gets allocated to the highest bid. So now, for us to then help our hawkers to be more informed when they put in their bids, what we do is to release the past 3 years of assessed market rent. And this assessed market rent is essentially what professional valuers see based on footfall, based on the amenities, and based on the market conditions on what they expect to be the median rent for that stall. So after the hawker has successfully tendered for a stall, he or she will pay the tendered rent for the first 3 years. So that is kept steady for this term. Assuming his or her tendered rent is above the assessed market rent, AMR for short, after the first 3-year term, the rent will then stagger downwards towards the AMR. Now, assuming the tendered rent is below the AMR, after the first 3 years, the rent will then stagger upwards towards the AMR. So in short, the first 3 years stay the same, and depending whether it's higher or lower than the AMR, it will stagger downwards or upwards towards the AMR.
So I knew it's going to be tough because there's no footfall behind. So that's why before opening the store, we planned that we do social media.
This is probably the thinnest hand-rolled pizza in Singapore.
Put the priority to do online events, that kind of thing. The gameplay need to be a bit different because there's no walk-in. My first year, me and my wife, we split. At the end of the month, we were getting $20, $30. Second year, we probably get 100 plus each. I remember only on the third year plus, then we probably get like 500, 600 each. And wow, yeah, it was every month I feel like closing feeling. When they like your food and they become a fan of your food, and then they trust you with the event, and then they just say, hey bro, I have this event, the demographic is this, help me plan. Then you plan. After a while, you build a relationship. It's very nice. That customer satisfaction definitely keeps me going.
My name is Richard To. I'm 70 years old. I first opened my store in 1993 at Newton Food Center.
Newton Food Center was one of the first few official hawker centers that was started. It was created in early 1970s to agglomerate illegal and itinerant hawkers along the Bukit Timah Road. But now, I think Newton Food Center's utility has sort of evolved. Now, I think Newton Food Center is almost like the face of Singapore's hawker culture.
I was here before helping my brother-in-law doing some part-time work, but I see the potential of setting up a store here. When I was helping here, and I observed the barbecue, seafood, satay, chicken wing selling very well. So I decided to set up a store selling chicken wing and barbecue seafood. 这边吃了啊，呀，很好吃的嘞。
Newton Food Center. It is the Singapore Tourism Board poster child, right? Every tourist who comes to Singapore needs to make a stop there for the satay and sit in the like glorious greasy smoke and the barbecue grilled seafood.
I'm marinating my chicken wing for overnight. I will use my secret recipe to marinate my chicken wing. Perfecting or marination, it took years. Hello, boy. 鸡猪牛羊. I started my store, it's an open tender. I pay for $8,889. To me, it's okay. It's still under $10,000. Compared to other store tender here, some of them go to $15,000, $20,000. I see the barbecue business will boom. There are longer queue like other stores. Within 1 year, I'll break even. Then the second year, I start picking up. That gives me the confidence to continue this. Research is very important. So before they tender, they need to read some research, observe, and to what I know, there are various food that doesn't attract crowd. No good. So it won't last long. 2006, we reopened this food center. NEA assess another rental rate, depending on where you are, the location. For me, I'm very lucky. They give me the market price, which I'm paying now 3,600 plus. If my sale can go up to 1,000, I can earn a decent living.
In terms of the different hawker center spread around Singapore, clearly you have different identities. Newton clearly is one that is considered as one of the premier ones. So it's really how much consumer, you and I, are willing to pay and how much margin that hawker need to have to earn a living as well.
There is a Chinese saying, 人死留名，老虎死了你留那个皮。When a tiger die, you keep the skin. Easy explanation when somebody pass away, you still remember the person's name. So I hope somebody can take over this and continue the legacy for me. You want to take on what?
我每天2点15分我就醒来了，然后来到这边差不多2点半这样哦。最重要的就是先煮饭，那个饭是比较花时间呐。最重要就是饭要煮的够时间呐，够时间的话，它的米粒就是说粒粒分明了。
我是 Jackie， 我在博多小贩中心开了一间椰香饭，我在这里接近要28年了。 我们凌晨每个人在睡觉的时候，可能我们已经是开始我们的工作，而且还要面对这个灶炉里面的热，那个油又很潮湿，这个是很多人很难克服的，所以可能这一点也是影响到他们这些年轻人的走进这一行业。早上我们5点就开始营业。 然后到差不多1点，我们卖完为止。
OK，36。
我们小贩中心很难吸引到这些年轻人啊！我是在想，要怎样把这些年轻人吸引进来我们这个行业，然后走进这个行业之后呢，我们需要的就是他们要有兴趣。当他有兴趣的时候，我会鼓励到他们。
OK， 你的3块了。
不错，辣椒也是很好，这个饭也是煮得很好。
谢谢耶！
哇，最近我感觉到好像越来越进步了。
来，你试试看我的 rendang。
哇，这个很硬。我一共培训了头尾大概有15个，最终还是4个能够把生意做到今天的成绩了。早报有来访问过我。 在工厂工作的时候，后来走进这个小贩中心。那个时候，记者有问过我，他说：“假如有年轻人来找你学习，你愿意教吗？”当时我有告诉他们，我愿意教他们。假如他们有兴趣，我愿意教。然后就是我第一个徒弟就是这个杰森，环境局他们就来找我了。他说：“我们有这个 program， 这个 NEA， 这个希望能够把这些年轻人带动进来。” 这个小贩中心，他就问我：“你愿意成为他们的师傅吗？”就说他们有一些要学椰浆饭的话，我说我愿意。
So we have a couple of programs to make the hawker trade more accessible to new entrants. We have the Hawker Development Program HDP to provide a combination of classroom training with apprenticeship, and after that, they can choose to go for a stall to start honing their trade and figuring out whether the ground realities are what they are expecting and whether they really want to go into the hawker trade. Also, the Hawker Succession Scheme, HSS. So the HSS, it matches hawkers who are looking to retire but can't find a family member or a friend to pass this trade to. And that's where we match them with aspiring hawkers, give them that kind of mentorship so that at the end of the program, the veteran hawker can then pass over his or her stall to the aspiring hawker.
这就是Wilson最近的成绩看如何？挺不错的。假如再加多一点点的咸味，会更好。
I don't think that this hawker succession It's important in the sense of passing down the recipe, but it's important in the sense that the older hawker can actually teach the younger hawker how to handle ingredients, how to handle the suppliers, how to start the store, and how to look after all the accounts. And this kind of practical stuff is more important for them to learn.
最重要的 Jackie 教会我怎么做生意，他的处事待人啊，然后对食物的那些要求很严格，然后就是要用心做好每样东西。他对我们的要求是蛮严格的吧？我觉得是严师出高徒。
我觉得小贩文化会持续的传承下去，必须要有像 Jackie 这样无私的付出。他把他自己的配方都无私的传授交给我，所以我也非常的感谢他。
其实现代的年轻人，他们的想法、他们的料理、他们所谓的兴趣的一些喜欢的料理也跟我们这个年代不一样。我是希望说，我们这个年代的料理，也希望他们年轻化跟传统下去的联合起来。
So for the next scene, I'm gonna lie on the table. Then maybe you step on top, then you film from this angle. My name is Kenny. So I'm 31 this year, and I'm running my hawker stall. I started my hawker life with my sister when I was roughly 23, so fresh out of army.
This is my last pack of Barilla pasta. A little taste test.
I had to make sure it's al dente for you guys, man. So other than relying upon luck and chance for food blogs or news outlet to come and feature us, right? So me and my sister realized that we needed to put the word out. Right from there. So we were approaching a few social media companies to do marketing for us. So then we realized how expensive it was. It was about $2,000 to $3,000 a month for 8 to 10 posts a month. Obviously, we couldn't afford that amount. Then I was saying to myself, actually, I could do that.
If you like free food and the excitement of a treasure hunt, this video is for you.
Nowadays, it's about how well you use your TikTok and social media. So the relationship, how it's being built up, clearly has changed over time because technology and digital solution today allows a younger hawker to have a wider reach.
Hi guys, so after 4 months, finally, we can go into OF4 Road again.
Actually, our videos are not just hitting local customers, but they're hitting overseas people as well. So I do have people from Philippines or Indonesia that comes over here and say like, oh, they are traveling in Singapore for a few days and they saw my video, so they thought like they will visit me and just say hi and try out our food.
Obviously, we try to serve the best to you at an affordable price.
I have dabbled into more storytelling concept for Salt. So like more behind the scenes, how we do our stuff, why we do our stuff, why we use better ingredients for our food, and why our food is priced this way.
I want to try Tabasco sauce only.
Okay.
And the soy marinade. And then one just plain.
Actually, we have another shop space in CIMB Plaza near Raffles MRT. So usually we will R&D our new menu there. So recently we are working on chicken breast with different flavor because we are leaning towards a more healthier crowd, a healthier diet.
I feel some more juicy.
Okay, then maybe the next one I don't even cut half. Okay.
Oh, might be drier as well. This is the Cajun one.
Wow, I actually like this one.
I think it smells good.
So actually my sister and I had this discussion before and we both agreed that being in the hawker is how we started. And this is technically our OG store. So
we decided that we will never close down this store. We will always be here. So I definitely hope to be able to train more people that can take over my role in the shop or even do better than me so that I can focus more on the bigger picture. For example, bringing a farm-to-table experience to our customers, having that whole control over our produce, and also basically to expand the business as a whole as well.
There's going to be a diversity of people entering the hawker trade because diversity and inclusivity is what makes our hawker cuisine so vibrant, and that's what makes us so Singaporean.
The younger generations will change the definition of what hawker food means because as more young individuals take up the mantle of being a hawker, they will sell things that best represent them, and that might not always be the food that considered hawker food today. And I think that is a natural part of the process.